This is Lesson 4 on page 99, Formatting a Worksheet.
Large worksheets with thousands or perhaps millions of data entries can be difficult to read. This can be especially true if you're working with a variety of data types, such as text, dollar amounts, percentages, and more. You may need to organize your data according to department, region, job role, or other important distinctions. And some data is simply more important than other data and should stand out even at first glance. Fortunately, Microsoft Office Excel allows you to present data in a wide variety of formats that can suit your specific needs. Understanding how to use and perhaps more importantly, when and why to use these formatting options will help you make your worksheets easy to read, professional in their appearance, and more useful. In this lesson, you will apply text formats, apply number formats, align cell contents, apply styles and themes, apply basic conditional formatting, and create and use templates. So starting on page 112, topic A, we have applying text formats. Differences in letter size, color, and style make it easy for the eye to pick out particular information in what is often a sea of clutter. Think of how a news article's headline is typically larger than the article's contents. This is meant to draw your eye to the most important information first and also allows you to easily skim pages to locate the exact information you're looking for with ease. This is really no different with spreadsheets. Excel provides you with a number of options to help you create spreadsheets that are easy to read and interpret, and that allow the important information to stand out. This will also help you add a level of visual appeal, which can facilitate a greater level of engagement when you present your data to others. That would simply not be possible by using a single monotonous type of font. So on our Home tab, here we have our font group. And the commands we have in here are to change the font type. We have our drop down, and all of the different font types are shown how they will appear. If you have something selected, let's say the range, I have here A1 through L1, and you hover over the different fonts, you can see it'll show what that will look like without even selecting it. This is known as live preview. To the right of that, you have your font size. Again, you get a live preview with that. You can either select an option from the drop-down menu, or you can also type directly in this box as well. So if you're trying to go a little smaller, but you don't want to go, the whole step smaller from 11 to 10, you can type 10.5 in here to make that font size. Then you have your increase font size to make your text bigger, decrease font size. In the next row, we have our bold options, italics. We have our underline button, and we also have a drop down. You have options of a single underline or a double underline. Then you have also your border options. So you can choose what borders you want shown around your selection. You have your fill color, which will give you a background in those particular cells. And then you also have your font color as well. So if I have A1 through L1 selected, let me zoom out here real quick so get a better look at what the spreadsheet actually looks like. Let's say we made this header row Arial black, and we'll make it a size 16. We'll go with a font color of purple. We'll make it a little interesting. And we'll also bold, italicize, and underline this text. Now you can see since I made the font so much larger that my headers are being cut off. The columns are not wide enough. A good idea for something like this where, majority of your columns are too small, hit your select all button in the top left-hand corner where your column headers meet your row headers. Right here, we'll select your whole entire worksheet, and then all at once we can go to our format drop down and we can auto fit our column width so it widens them to the size we need. All right, also in our font group we have our dialog box launcher, And this opens up to the Format Cells dialog box. And here we have our font tab that this is automatically open to. So all of our options that are on our ribbon are here as well. Our font style, which includes regular, italic, bolds, or both. Your size, your underline options, your color. You also have some additional effects of strike through, superscript, and subscript. Remember, superscript is like an exponent, like x squared, where that 2 is smaller and kind of up in the air, and subscript is like the notation for water, H2O, where the 2 is smaller and down a little bit. So you have additional options in this dialog box as well. The other tabs you have here that we'll be going over in depth of each, but just to take a look at, we have our number tab, and this is for formatting numeric data for a variety of purposes. Number formatting configures the display and behavior of numbers for figures such as monetary amounts, dates, times, percentages, and fractions. So if we had dollar amounts that we just typed in, I don't know if, oh, here, like our bonus, we could put this to have a currency symbol in front of it. And we can tell it how many decimal places that we want to appear in those amounts. We'll go through all of these different categories in our next section coming up. We also have our alignment tab, and this is for controlling the placement of data within cells. You can use these commands to align data with a particular cell border, to center content within a cell, to display text at different angles, and to control the relationship between the content and the cell borders. And again, we also have our font tab, which we saw, our border tab for applying a variety of formatting to your cell borders. You can use these commands to configure the width, color, and style of your cell borders. And our fill tab, this is for adding color, gradient shading, or patterns as our cell backgrounds. And then lastly, we have our protection tab, and this is for protecting your cell content. Again, we'll be going through all of these in much more depth. We'll have a section on each of them. All right, for now, we're going to take a look at some hyperlinks. And you remember from Microsoft Word, a hyperlink is simply a link within a document that, when selected, performs a particular action, such as navigating to a different location within the document, opening another document, creating a new document, navigating to a web page, or starting an email. So it actually works the same exact way as it does in Microsoft Word. So let's say, what do we got here? I'm just going to create some hyperlinks off to the side here. If I had cell N3 selected, I'm going to go up to my Insert tab, and here in my Links command group, I have my hyperlink command. You can see the dialog box, same exact thing that we have in Microsoft Word. No changes here whatsoever. Remember, the first thing you want to choose is what you're linking to. So if I'm linking to an existing file, I want to select the existing file or web page, and then I can browse for what file I want to link this hyperlink to. So since I started with an empty cell, I have to let Excel know what text I want to display for my hyperlink. So we can do click here to access the, let's see, about the employee roster workbook. So here in the formatting a worksheet folder, we have the employee roster workbook. Remember we can also create a screen tip, and that screen tip is what appears when you hover your mouse over the hyperlink. I'll just put example screen tip text here and click OK. So now when I click OK from my hyperlink dialog box, let me zoom in here a bit. You can see N3 has text. Click here to access the employee roster workbook. When I hover over it, I get my screen tip, example screen tip text, and you can see my cursor changes to a pointer finger. So when I click on this, it launches the employee roster workbook for us. So that's a hyperlink linking to an existing file. Then we can also link to a web page. Let's say we'll do N5 here. And suppose this had the text Develotech Industries in it. I can click on the cell, go back up to my hyperlink command. We want existing file or web page selected, and then I can type the address right in this field at the bottom. We'll say it was develotech.com. Don't know if that's a real website, but we'll try it out. Remember that you don't need to create a screen tip. It's not mandatory. Click OK. You can see my text is blue and underlined now. Notice that the one that I already activated is purple. So that's the difference between these texts for your hyperlinks, the text colors. Blue has not been activated at all yet. Purple has been. So now once I click on this, it's going to launch my web browser and take me to, and look at that, it is a website, develotech.com. And if I go back to my workbook, you can see the text is now purple. You can also link to another place in this document. I'll go ahead and we'll do cell N7 from here. I'll go back up to my hyperlink. Here's the second button, place in this document. You can choose a cell reference. Let's say we wanted to take us to cell A1, but over in sheet 2. The text to display, I can do click here to navigate to sheet 2. Click OK. There's my hyperlink text. Click on it. I'm still in the same workbook. It took me to sheet 2 and it automatically has A1 selected for me. So maybe if you're referring to another value in another worksheet, you can hyperlink it if you want. You can also link to create a new document. Let's say we have N9 selected. Go up to hyperlink. Here we have the create new document option. Click here to, let's see, access the new document named example. So we can name of new document. We can do example. You can choose where you want to save that. If you don't want the default path, you can change that. We'll keep that as is, but you can browse to a different folder if you want. And we'll click edit the new document later. Click OK. I get my hyperlink text. Click here to access the new document example. We'll go ahead and click on the link. It launches a brand new workbook for us, and that is now named example, and it's saved in that folder where my path was written out for us. And then lastly, we can link to a new email. Oops. So now I'll go down a couple more cells to N11, go back up to our hyperlink, and here we have the option to email address. We can do click here to email. I'll do click here to email regarding questions or concerns. Type in the email address of who that would be going to. And you can automatically set up the subject of that email. Click OK, and here I get my text. Now when I click on this one, it's going to launch your default email program. Mine is Outlook. Automatically creates a new message for me, automatically addressed to the email address that was set up in that hyperlink. And you can see the subject is in there as well. So then they would just type whatever they want to that person and send that out. Okay, So that's your example of your different hyperlinks. Again, same as Microsoft Word. Okay, and then lastly for this section, we have our format painter. Now, just like we can copy and paste different text, we can also copy and paste different formatting and leave the text as is. So you can see here I have my column headers all formatted. I'm going to make these a little less dramatic here. Let's take this down to size 12. And let me see if I can make these a little smaller. Okay, so you can see I have the formatting applied. Now let's say I wanted to apply this formatting to another cell, but I don't want to go and individually select, the font, the size, the color, all of the styles such as bold and underlining and italics. So I don't want to do everything individually. I can just click on one of these cells, and up on my Home tab in my clipboard command group, here I have my Format Painter. When I single click on this, this means I can apply this one time before it's turned off. So if I was to click to apply it to cell A12, you can see I have a paintbrush cursor now. Click on this, takes all the formatting from what I had selected previously and applies it to the new text. And you can see it's automatically turned off after that. Now I could have done that for a range as well, and that would have been considered one selection. So if I did Format Painter and drag the range, that's one selection. Now if I wanted to do a lot of stuff or keep it turned on until I'm finished, I can double click Format Painter, and that puts it into what we call sticky mode. So I can click 2054, 2061, 2045, so on and so forth. I could go all the way over here, apply it to that, apply it to that. So I can apply it to whatever I want, and the formatting stays consistent for me. All right, so again, that is your Format Painter, and when in sticky mode, you have to manually turn it off. So you want to single click it, and you can see that is deactivated now.
Your next video will be Activity 4.1 on page 107.